Like if you go and get stock, that's the first advice. Invest in 7-Eleven. What country have you been to without a 7-Eleven? It's always respected wherever you go. Dude, I'm Skyping with a guy from Australia, you know that? I think he's in Melbourne. Yeah. It's a fucked up time for him though, dude. I think it's an optical illusion, dude. It's like one of those things like which one's bigger. But I know this one's more expensive because it does keep your coffee hot. I'm gonna go with the one that's always been working. So. All in.
402 on a card. Wait for it to change.
4%. Only 4% of the population can do what we do, right? We got Paul Nunez, he's a brindle, and then that's Haley Nunez. She's a Jacqueline. Oh, look at that. She knows the people fitness channels. They sleep, then they exercise for 5 minutes, and that's it. They're high intensity fans. How are you feeling, dude? If you can't do things like that are just pure enjoyment for you, then like it's yeah. Especially if you have the option. We will have 4 days where compounds, secondaries, and then 1 day with just secondaries that are completely catered to your weaker body parts. Our bro day is gonna be pretty fun.
What's a bro day?
Oh, a bro day is like, I guess, like all the body parts that like the bros kind of like to hit.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's a 4-day split.
If you look at the secondaries, you'll see a day. That's the bro day.
Yeah.
We didn't call it a bro day. We called it customized hypertrophy work, but
Yeah.
it's a bro day. Just kind of keep doing what you have been doing, and weigh yourself frequently so you can see your behavior.
Cool. No worries. Alright, got it. Okay.
Later. He didn't say cheers, mate. He knows it's like too formal almost. Someone got me a gift. It's gonna help me so much with my diet. I'm gonna go like this because the creeps. Low fat, high protein, low carb water. Comes in flavors. And this is synthetic leather.
Wait, why do I always feel like the Ivory Latino is some sort of like...
G for P stuff?
Yeah, G for P porno.
Reminds me of how far I've come that I don't have to do that anymore. I think I look at this belt before every set, and like you start to fucking cry sometimes, bro.
Fill the people in on what level you need to be at to have your name engraved on the back of the fucking belt. What's the prerequisites?
Can I say shit?
We're in the US, bro. We're in the US.
You could be a sick over there, and it's a good thing. Like if you call a female a sick, they high five you. So this belt is older than Leanna. It's actually my old belt, dude. I left it in Texas.
He left it in Texas. My athlete shipped it back to him.
I left it at a sushi restaurant too. Crush it, but don't forget to recycle it. We're in Fort Collins, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's the most restaurants per capita in the U.S.
The only Chinese restaurant in this town's Panda Express.
The ethnic food, that's kind of the catch-22, dude. 5% Mexican, dude. I just say I'm Native American so they don't bother me. Vitamin shop. Let me get some for my melanoma, dude. You didn't get the before. Look, let me tell you, brother. Extreme Shock. It's best green on the market. Actually, it's red. Best blue I've ever tasted, dude. This is like nature's best blue. That's nutrition done well.
You know, I saw a Phil Heath video and he was running, and then he said he was an athlete because he lives in Colorado. I said, fuck me, my boy fucking Berto lives in Colorado.
How many takes do you think that took to get him to run 50 meters?
10.
Some guy just called me strange for eating bread and wine, dude. Look at that, dude. Your face is something else. Did you know that?
Hand to here. I don't think this is not. This is like perfect. This is fine.
I could use that like everyone would be speaking and every bit. That I could just nap or something.
What are you up today?
I'm not deadlifting. I'm gonna squat like 135. Just cause I'm getting over it.
Join the Romanian deadlift club. First movement was a Romanian deadlift with dumbbells. Nothing special about dumbbells. I just feel comfortable with them. The hip hinge movement, I think, when it comes to strength training outside of Olympic lifting, is probably the most complicated thing you will do. A lot of people cannot hip hinge correctly. I find it easier with deadlifts. I'm still getting the hang of it, so please don't laugh too hard at those. But it was a really good day, really good day. After we kind of exhausted those big muscles in the posterior chain, we moved over to the leg press. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you, bruh. Single leg, which means takes twice the work, but since you're laying down on it, it's like a super comfortable Cadillac Bulgarian split squat. Freaking awesome. Had a plus set there, and I got 20 reps, I think. That's insane progress. I think just about 6 months ago, 4x10 with that weight was like my best ever. So we're progressing, and that's all I can ask for. I can't like be too picky about the pace or how much at this point. What did we move on to?
After
We did some GHRs, some glute ham raises, which is probably another like really, seems like all the muscle groups that are like behind you, people do not know how to freaking do. My glute ham raises are actually okay, and we got, I think it was 4 sets of 15, so that's a big PR. Can't ask for much more there. It's just kind of a fluff movement, and progress there is really dependent on how taxed out I am from the first movements, and I was pretty taxed out at that point. We did some calves, we did some low back extensions, some pull-throughs. First of all, it has to be pink. Let's get that right. We're gonna do it for pull-throughs, and not because we're hitting anything distal of the wrap. See, distal, dude.
that means far away.
It's because what it does is it fatigues my legs, and it gets my hips firing a little bit better. So it's a good way to do pull-throughs properly and learn what it should feel like. And all that stuff is just, again, I try to progress over time, but it's one of those things where like the main movements, those are your bread and butter, the first two, and even then they kind of overlap. So we make progress when we can, and it was just a solid day, despite the fact that we did pretty well with the first ones. Yeah, those other movements were aight. This is it, man. When we meet the mayor, okay, you remember, when you shake his hand, look him in the eye like a gentleman. Same thing when you like toast and drink. All right, after you.
Oh, such a gentleman, thank you. Yeah. You didn't even open the door for me.
They do got some food here though, and this halal.
I'm almost rooting for San Jose in this series. Pittsburgh has always been one of my favorite teams, but San Jose has never made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Yeah, I'm going to do the Palo Santo.
Sure.
It's a tasty, tasty beer. Brian, do you remember what the label says about Palo Santo?
On the actual bottle?
It had a good story though.
Dude, I forget what it was though.
So I had my Quest chips immediately. I got the protein, and now I'm gonna have a beer or 8. It's all about balance. You like the Alicia Keys songs? It's like ooh, 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 ooh.
I got my first hard onto Alicia Keys.
Dude, that's right, you're legit a fan. Montgomery glands, areola glands, are glands of Montgomery. They are sebaceous, I hope I said that right, glands in the areola surrounding the nipple. The glands make oily secretion, lipoid fluid, to keep the areola in the nipple lubricated and protected. Volatile compounds in these secretions may also serve as an olfactory stimulus for newborn appetite. Snapchat Q&A here at the mayor of Old Town. Let's get rolling with these. All right, sorry, Giselle.
I was just wanting to know, when it comes to shoes, what you recommend, and more so for squats, deadlifts, and anything else really.
So she wants to know what kind of shoes would be appropriate for squatting, deadlifting. Honestly, I don't think you need squatting shoes right off the bat. I would say if you have some flat-soled shoes that feel comfortable, that kind of let you do most everything in the gym. I like the New Balance Minimus. That could be my everyday shoe, to be quite honest. So I'd say invest in that, and if things get real serious, buy some squat shoes, especially if you want to power lift. But I don't see the purpose to having a squat shoe if you are going to, squat maybe once a week, twice a week. I think when I got my first pair of squat shoes, I ran Scheiko right after because it justified the fact that I got squat shoes.
I would agree. I think the biggest thing is if you have mobility issues that are requiring you to have an elevated heel just so you can get enough dorsiflexion, or I guess artificial dorsiflexion, then that can be one way to sort of bridge the gap. But oftentimes it's more that you just need to improve ankle mobility.
Bridge.
And if you are going to get a pair of squat shoes, I personally like Nike Romaleos or Adidas Powerlifting 2.0s.
This is Liana Carr. She's starting out in the fitness industry, trying to get sponsored.
Yeah,
and then this is my man
Never
right here,
lifted before.
Brian. I just like great powerlifter, better bodybuilder than powerlifter will convince him of that. He's got an identity crisis, but even that, dude, great pops.
Once you become a dad, you just got to do the heavy compounds.
Recommend to someone that has a physically demanding job and is trying to mix that in with training. You know, try to balance both out because it's physically.
Is that Chris Lovato?
So Giovanni, it's like Chobani but yo. He was asking about, so he has a physically demanding job, and he's cutting. So that sucks. I could think of a lot better situations than that. However, one perk, just have one pro, is that you can probably use a few more calories than most people. So you have that, but the training must be a bitch. What I would say is, if you understand the fact that what it takes to maintain muscle mass is like, it's almost unfair how little it is relative to what it takes to progress. I would put myself on the lower end of that. Or not the lower end, but I would definitely exercise the fact that most likely you can keep a lot of the muscle and strength that you have earned over your gaining phase with about half the volume. That's a very safe place to start. I would start there. And one other tool that I would look into, just for anyone who is working a gig like that, is myo reps. Brian here actually did myo reps when he was when he started the POPs journey.
Yeah, the POPs journey. It's time efficient. I think I've actually been in that position where I've been dieting with a physically demanding job, and you have to really take into consideration that if you're in a deficit, you don't need to add a bunch of cardio on top of that. So your deficit might, on paper, come entirely from dietary adjustments.
Me and Brian discussed this. Like, you don't need like muscles and abs to get it. You don't have to look like Jeff Seed. You need a.
That's all women want, is a job and
Really?
not to be fat.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
The occasional giggle.
Brian's making his wife giggle once a month.
Okay, we're gonna go with Nusasa. Okay, so Nusasa wants to know, he's trying to go to a pool party and look good. What would you lift and eat before the party?
You gotta pull your water about a week out. Typically, you want to do push-ups, but you gotta make sure you eat a banana, otherwise you're gonna cramp.
If I didn't want to maximize muscle mass, I just wouldn't bulk.
I mean,
Like, I would just look fucking great year round. Like, it would be that simple.
Bro, it's not that easy.
It is.
For
Just,
you it is.
just have like glute tie-ins, and you know what I'm saying. But like, don't get them striated, but get glute tie-ins, hamstring split,
Yeah, 100%.
and keep that look.
You know what I would do?
That's no empathy there,
I
right?
wouldn't go to the fucking pool party.
Be the guy with the black shirt in the pool. No one knows you're trying to hide fat.
I did that for you too.
No one knows that kid is actually
years, dude.
fat.
I did that
No,
for years.
no one suspects a thing. He just likes his black shirt a lot. That's it. Yeah. Oh, he's got a picture. Oh, his name's Jack.
What's up, Mr. Nunez? A little late on the Q&A.
Jack here, he wants to know about body fat redistribution. So you cut down, and then on the way up, it doesn't look exactly the same as it looked on the way down. You went from like, at some point, 175 to 170. On the way back up to 175, it's like, dude, it's different. Usually, it's very short-lived, the body fat redistribution, and usually the more intense the cut is, the more. And Brian can probably like follow me up on this.
Well, I've had clients too that, like, coming out of a show, it will redistribute a little bit differently, but then maybe 6 months down the road, and then coming back down, it's the same shit again. Is that what you're trying to say? Acutely, the redistribution is a very real thing, like a shift in redistribution, but it tends to even out over time. What we have available in the literature, we have to sort of lean on anecdote in a sense. So
What just kind of makes sense to me is that where your body distributes fat on the way out is something that's, for one reason or another, probably easier to store fat there, and it needs to just do that for like safety reasons. So For example, like coming out of a prep, I feel like I soared here, but my limbs and legs look about the same for a while, and then it kind of reshifts a little bit. So yeah, it's normal. Long term, it's not going to work that way though.
Motivation. 2 words. What are they?
Life of a champion, dude.
That's 3, bro. You're drunk. Charcoals.
Is this about carcinogens?
Charcoals and fluorine-filled water. 2 words.
It takes a lot of time and pressure to make diamonds. Know that next time you're in the bubble. Did you know Osama was like 6'7"? How did the U.S. not find that dude? Dude, you're 6'7", bro.
He was underground, bro.
6'7", dude.
Underground, dude.
6'7", dude. That's like 2% of the population. 2%er.
You know, I didn't even know that, and I'm Arab. Jason Blaha and testosterone.
They're completely separate things, bro.
Who's Black Angel? You just put your penis inside out. You just hollow that
but
shit.
you can't like fucking like make a robo dick.
No. What they do is like if you follow the tube all the way down, that thing they basically turn into a
So
cavity.
all they do with the penis is they hollow that shit out. They stuff it back in there.
They have some shit flavors here, dude. You'll see. I always think the peanut butter is gonna taste different. It always tastes like charcoal and Walton Farms. It's good today. You know, people come in here during contest prep and they're like 27 calories per whatever. Bullshit, dude. Dude, if I worked here, I would just make the shit taste good. Like, it wouldn't even have the right macros. I'll get the one that's most politically correct. I like to focus on one thing at a time. It's all about specialization. As long as I can balance it on this thing and do a pistol squat, I can put whatever I like on top. I'd have like 8, dude, because I can do that as a male.
If it was like 1950s situation where it's like you just work, you come home and play with the kids, and then go to bed for work.
Take him, honey, eat food. This is Ben Estro's bed, by the way, right here. This thing right here. It freezes your body basically at night. He has that thing milled into the many
Why do
places
I
he
think
stays
of
at.
a vagina cake when I think Ben Esgro? Remember that
cake?
time he
What
sent us that fucking cake?
That's right.
Yeah.
That was fucking
Yeah,
weird, dude.
that was fucked up. Yeah, it was,
Dude, and they look like moist and ready.
Dude, moist is one of those words you can't say.
It's a light supper, dude. Burn fat while you sleep. See that? Okay. That's the bro pepper. You see, yo dogs trained if you can put your hand in the bowl and they don't give a shit. Dogs are like in that mentality, like they're like, this is my last fucking meal of my life. They get a rabbit, they earn it. Anyhow, live in the moment, work hard, sleep hard, and just believe in yourself. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. You guys remember what I said. Dream, so you know exactly what to do that next morning. Where my bitch is at? Come on.